Hey guys, welcome to BonkTable. This is Saxon. Say hi, Saxon.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. His little bar-y thing on my recording stuff finally popped up. Saxon and I were chatting, and I was like, wait a minute, we should be recording this. This is really good. We're talking about, I don't know if this is ever gonna get cut or not, but like, we're talking about Parabellum and, review and like the updates and stuff. We're gonna get into the whole interview with Saxon, probably be an hour and a half. But I thought this was really interesting, and also Saxon's a great guy. But through this episode, people will have to make their own conclusion on, does Saxon fuck spiders? That's the question you should have in your head the entire time.
I deny all allegations, but we'll see how this goes.
How's this man? Okay, so back to where we were. So Saxon, like, you and I were chatting about this, and like players with Conquest, is it like the good competitive players who are propping up factions that can usually take like whatever they want and kind of like mold it into the best thing of that type or whatever, and then do well with it? And is that skewing the numbers and like showing data points? Because like one of the funny like weird things I find about the balance of Conquest is that it needs to be balanced at the top end, yes, because if you don't, it gets insane and you get into a bunch of problem pieces and situations. But it also needs to be balanced at the mid end, where I want to say like the average player, someone who's decent, can like do well and not feel restricted and have to grow and play at such a high degree to get the most out of it, kind of thing, in their average setting. What do you think about that?
It's a bit of A, bit of B. So good players, as we used the Spires one from a couple of years ago, where you had Carl, Ben, Rob, just melting everyone with the faction. Was the question of Spires being good, or was it them playing? Or you've got something like Chios, which is the best players in the world, but there's two factions in the top 8.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Like, is it the good players jumping on the back of better factions, or is it, warping the meta with a faction because they're good? And I think it's both. We're a small game. We don't have the sample size like 40k or anything huge like that to get really hard evidence on it in like such a mass scale. So I think it's a bit of both, honestly. I also know that, as we've seen before, a lot of the top players like to clown around and play silly lists and make everyone think that they're very good.
Just like you.
Yeah.
So
Could have a crack.
like, I went to a tournament, I guess earlier this month, and I brought the 7 Jotnar Nords. I think you've seen that, like what I played and everything. I forget what they called it. Did they call it accumulating mass after because I named it something lame, and then I was told to rename it.
That's about right.
So, like, it is a dumb list. My problem with it is that, like, it doesn't play into, like, let's say the style I want to play, so it doesn't work as well with me. While I'm going again to a tournament this weekend, and I'm bringing 5 units of Fireforge, 4 units of Steel Forge, and like double Lost Ancestor and a Steel Shaper Warlord, just to be like,
I don't want to play into that. Yuck.
Just what I call it, dozen eggs, please.
We just had an event a couple of weeks ago just after the patch, and it was like the 4 Dweg players, and there was something like 11 Steel Forge units. It's just between the 4 of them, they're just so good. And yuck.
Yeah, okay. Like we're gonna get into Chios and everything, but like it's been a while since Chios, and you're my honored guest on this show. As you can see, we have the pool table set up in the back if you want to shoot some pool. Also, we have a beanbag for you to lay on, and those beers in the corner. We'll do what we did back at Chios. My God, fucking the beers at Chios is so funny. I didn't realize that. Oh.
I also deny all allegations. Fuck you, Carl.
I didn't realize the mistake I was making, but it's like, oh, let's get the 3 alcoholic countries to start drinking.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, you're here to shoot the shit about rules questions. Beer will definitely not help this experience. And then, yeah, you put it in front of the Poms, myself and you.
We did not help. That was the best part. I think we were detriments to it. Like, Stravos won't reply to my emails now.
It's not back to me either, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Busy man, I imagine.
My email was, I was told I had to email you. What do you want? Let me know and I'll answer them. And he hasn't emailed me back.
Yeah, I think everyone got a bit mixed messages about our homework. But,
how would you guys think about the game? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Asked us to do something, promised us a reward. Come on, mate.
Yeah, he was promising us exclusives. He was like, I'll email you some of my flesh. And I was like, wow, human flesh. I love this.
Jesus Christ. I was not expecting that one.
Just a full bar. You've listened to BonkTable. You know what you're getting into.
I have. I know. I've also experienced you in person.
Is it okay? You got to answer this question for the listeners. Is it better or worse in person?
You're definitely more rabid online. You are absolutely say that. In person, you're not far more chill, but it'll just be like 0 to 100 out of nowhere, but it's in a good way. You will be chatting, and then some offhand comment will come out, and then everyone will just piss themselves. It's good.
Perfect. How we love it here. I'm just bored, to be honest.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get into it. So, how this is going to work and structure for you. Saxon, I forgot to do the prelude because we were just chatting and we're just getting into it. But the prelude is we are going to talk about you in your glorious might as the youngest 30-year-old that we have currently.
Brian.
Yes, Saxon is younger than Brian. He's also younger than me, so good job, man. So things were, I think I did like a little write-up of like, what are we going to talk about? And I totally... main idea is to get to know you, how you got into wargaming, how you got into Conquest, what you play in Conquest, how's your community in meta, how's the Australian community in meta, how was Chios, how well did you do, shit like that.
Like that.
Then I also wrote, people want to hear from the mouth of the man who clearly has not had sexual relations with your spiders.
Once again, I deny any allegations till proof is shown.
Okay, so I guess let's start with the interview. Welcome to BonkTable. If there is, I don't know. Let's see here. So, who are you? What makes Saxon Saxon? Tell us about yourself. When did you start wargaming?
Wargaming. So I got in when I was quite young. I think it was about 6 when I got in. I started. Mate brought one of those Lord of the Rings magazines to school, in the White Dwarf, and we had a look at that. The models were really cool, and then went from there to the gaming shop, which we played Lord of the Rings for a bit. We picked up 40k pretty quick after that, and then just collected. Probably started playing, honestly, until when I was probably 8 or 9, and then just played a mix of bit of a GW shill. Played all their games from now till then, except for a small break in the middle for girls and uni and stuff. The usual runarounds.
Girls and unions.
University.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, fucking union's getting lit. My union's lame. I went to like a dinner. They're like, you wanna come to this dinner to fundraise money for communities that are affected by wildfires? I'm like, sure, this will be fun. And ended up at a bar, had a steak dinner, and drank with the guys.
Some bad steak dinner.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Also, I'm not even part of that union, and they're like, yeah, you just come with us now. And I'm like, all right, sure. And then I was promised a job. I was like, okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Steak dinner and a job.
Yeah, like, what more do you want? I want a handy too. Like, sign me up. Getting recruited for the military, but just a carpenters union.
Less commitment.
Yeah. Okay, well done. So you started with GW. Did you branch into any other games like Infinity, War Machine, BattleTech, Malifaux?
Not
Star Wars.
Yeah, not really into.
Hold on, I'm
not really too many.
Them.
Yeah. Well, so I worked in and out of game shops for about 5 or 6 years, so I have played most of the things under the sun. Played seriously, or like just had more of a collection for Legion and Bolt Action. Both were bigger around here, and I play a bunch of card games. Like played Magic for ages, like a little competitively. A bit harder to do over here in Australia than it is in the massive US scene, but yeah, played card games pretty competitively. And now it's really kind of loyal just to Conquest mainly. I have all the Warcrow stuff, but I have had that sit in boxes for a year now. So no, but at the Warcrow looks good. Yeah, models look great.
Nice. I've seen them. I don't know if I'll personally get in and like check them out. Kind of a guy who sits down with one system, explores the system for a couple years, enjoys it, and then might move on once I've, something happens or I'm kind of done or whatever, shit changes in your life. That seems to be my go. So like,
as I said,
yeah,
my stuff's just sitting in the box.
Is it collecting spiders?
Almost definitely.
Oh
it's in my garage, which is shockers.
Yeah, these are never gonna stop, by the way.
That's good. As I said, I'll keep denying the allegations.
Should we go find a lawyer? Just have a lawyer on call with us. It's like, please do not address my client that way.
That'd be great. But no, yeah, for games and stuff I play I play Conquest pretty much exclusively now. I don't think I've played. I think I may have played 140 games since I started Conquest again. The game system's honestly it's fantastic, and the Australian community's just surprised me. They've been lovely. So
yeah, like there's actually quite a lot of Australians I've kind of interacted with and met more in wargaming in Conquest than any other wargame I've really interacted with. So like it seems like you guys have kind of really jumped on to Conquest as a game in Australia.
We're very diehard and we're very vocal, so it's not the biggest community, but we don't have people drop off very often because our community is great. We always have to travel to get places. It's not like you can just get on the road for any of our events for 5 minutes. So it's good. You're always seeing people. You're getting that social aspect to it. Actually, as you and I spoke about with some of the people at Chios, it's like it's the dinners, right? You go out for dinner after the event and stuff with the group, and it's just great. And that's just really kept everyone in, which has been really good. And yeah, they've just been it's been fantastic. None of us have left. We all enjoy the game so much, and then when we get back to our smaller communities of a couple of us, those communities are pumped from the events they go to and just want to play more.
Well, then let's get into the next question. How is the greater like Australian community and meta? Like you've explained a bit of it, but like let's go deeper. Like is there I don't know, a play style? Because I know like in different parts of the world, especially with talking to people internationally, there's like meta shifts and changes based on how people play the game and like what's happening. Like I know at one point Europe was very focused on large bricks, while North America was very much focused on MSUs. We didn't know what was happening in Spain. It seems like they were doing like a lot of dinos or like lots of monsters. And Australia just seems like just a mess of your local, nature poking its head out, trying to bite people again.
That's just part of the course.
I think it's called eucheology, but like I'm dyslexic, so we're not going to get that word out.
So a big one for Australia is obviously we're so far apart that we end up getting really small little concentrated pockets of Conquest players. So, for example, over in Western Australia, there's like a really dedicated group who play over there. They try to get over for events over here on the East Coast. Then you've got up north where our lovely Reese lives, and then around that area there's a couple of really dedicated communities as well. And then on the southeast coast, we have my community, which is rapidly growing and is very new. We've only been around for about 18 months, if that. But we're probably one of the fast. Yeah, well, we went from 2 guys who owned armies to we're at 20-something consistent. We have 2 one-dayers firing off on the same day because we can't fit all the people in the same venue at once, and that was announced like 2 days ago. Oh no, that's like day recording. It'd be like half a week ago, and yeah, it's fired off, and we've sold all the tickets except one now. So
nice.
It's
great news.
Yeah, we're a little shithole town on the side of the country, not near anything important, so it was pretty good. With people traveling for it, and then you've got the Canberra boys who are a really dedicated group as well. So it's just with meta wise, it's kind of whatever the top dog in that area is playing, in each area is playing, and then how their locals kind of warp around that. And then they'll just put every single event's a hot pot boiling, just kind of smash around and see what all the local meta's doing, which is really interesting. Generally, though, it is dictated by the top players, which some of them have a really hard time running low activation lists. So it's normally the top 3 or 4 players. Between them, you'll see something like 45 activations in their list in 3 lists, 4 lists. Yeah, it's very delicate lists.
Isn't
so
the glorious Robert the Shepherd playing like a 15, 16 activation 100k list lately or something stupid like that?
Yeah, he's been playing that one, which is nuts. And then the other top player, Ewan, is doing something similar or a very high count.
Address him
SK.
by my what I described.
Oh, your new title for him?
Yeah, my new titles for your top players.
Was it Robert the Shepherd and Ewan the McGregor?
Yes.
They're I don't mind that because that makes my title much cooler. But
Saxon, who may or may not fuck spiders.
Oh, Saxon the King. I was going to roll. We'll go for may or may not fuck
you're
spiders.
You're the King Spider.
Yeah. So both of those boys are phenomenal, and yeah, definitely the top 2 players in the country. As much as I'd like to brag to jump up there, but they they both have a penchant for high activation lists, which sometimes feels when you're writing lists for them as if you're trying to catch up to a 100-meter sprint. When you're trying to force in activations or figure out how to go under that many effectively, which is fun. But then we have a lot of players who are also phenomenal, who innovate and build their own things, and that's the best thing I think about the Australian meta is when we have bigger events, you genuinely have no idea other than maybe faction what someone's playing. We don't do cookie cutter. We don't follow structure. It's our we're all weird lists throwing it at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, just like the fucking kangaroo. You think that thing woke up one morning and was like, I'm gonna morph into like a marsupial that has my babies in a pouch and then punch people and kill them.
And is more jacked than like most human beings, yeah.
Yeah, like that thing was ready to fight the moment it was birthed.
Yeah, pretty much. Thing's nuts.
Is that what you described? What faction would be the kangaroo of Australia? From what your meta or your Australian meta plays?
The angry herbivore. Probably 100k. Honestly, it's one of those things where apparently the rest of the world struggles with 100k as in getting results, except for Carl being smartful the other week. Is 100k popping up to get a bunch of results, and that's why I think people were blown away with Chios was there was. But yeah, I definitely think 100k is the unsung kangaroo of Australia, just bouncing around doing whatever it wants to do.
Nice.
So it'd be definitely that faction.
I do like it. I kind of had to put my 100k up put them on the hook. I was getting tired. I played it for so long. I'm like, I need to put this down. But no, I do agree with you. 100k has a lot going for it, and I just if you had to think of an international faction champion who can really go in there and explain what 100k is doing, I think Robert the Shepherd it really embodies that, especially for 100k. He does so much for that faction. But it's also once you see something weird and understand why it's doing well in 100k, like Carl's what is it, Imperials list, where he's running a big block of Guild Legion and 2 big blocks of Hunter Cadre, and what he was actually doing with it. What made it so effective is another thing of sometimes I feel players just need to look at something and be like, okay, list wise it's interesting, but how does it play? And then once they see it perform, they understand oh, this is what it's doing. Oh, I've been playing this wrong and that's why I'm not getting the same results. Oh, this is actually really good. There's a lot of that, execution of the list matters a lot in this game.
Yeah, wargamers are terrible at asking the question why a lot. So you'll find it, everything you just said there is, asking Carl why he did this, why he's done that. Get the breakdown, the explanation. Wargamers is just built on a really bad assumption. So I know why you do that. That makes sense. And they have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
So it's it's just once you start pulling apart and them asking why, you get there. And yeah, it's a big thing my locals have been trying to work on. It sounds like a room full of 3-year-olds whenever somebody posts something or does a question, they're like, why? But it's it's fine.
Was it the pigeons from Finding Nemo? Why?
The seagulls. Yeah, quite literally. But it's been good because it means that things you kind of assume, which it means everyone's kind of getting onto the same page.
To be honest, thinking back 2 years ago with Conquest, I started 3 years ago now. Okay, thinking let's go with 2 years. That's a lot easier because I was an idiot back like my first year, like everyone else was. I've seen the game, and especially on like an international level, like the quality of play has improved over time as people play more games, learn what stuff is like, what's actually happening and what things actually do, and evolved. One of the funny things I always remember is like reading the back of the box and being like, "These are the elite guards who guard the noble lord." It's like they're class 2 with 4 attacks, like everyone else in the faction. Nice.
Special 100k source there, right?
Yeah.
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
4 attacks. Let's go.
Let's go. The 4. I fucking hate the number 4 at this point. This motherfucker better have 5 wounds if he's gonna be considered good nowadays. But yeah, and then people are like, "Oh, this is really good." I'm like, "No, it's not." You have to play it a certain way. Break it the fuck up. Anyway, that's me bitching. I'm glad the Australian meta's doing well. Also, I'm glad that you have like such a large local community. 20 players? How are you not farming points and pushing everyone out so you can go to Worlds again?
Because I believe in sportsmanship, and it's no fun if I'm knocking out. Because at the end of the day, Chios is one event once a year, right? Yeah. It's no fun for me if I play 10 other events this year, and the other players who are competing with me have been knocked out because of points I'm scoring by farming points because they can't access it. Because it's a big thing. Like it's expensive for like the West Coast boys to get over here or us to go over there. It's $1,200, $1,500 dues to fly over there to do the event each event we want to do.
That was quite a bit.
Yeah, so by the time you break it down, you want to do 5 events a year on between the coasts, you're dropping nearly $7,000. So it's rather than me trying to farm points and just lock out players who are of comparative skill level or better, and I want to compete with and play the game competitively, I'd much rather be like, no, I'll take the risk and earn it, rock it up, do it, have a crack.
I'm on Google Maps because I just want to know. Okay, so let's say Brisbane.
Do Perth to Sydney would be accurate.
Direction.
Perth, Perth.
H.
And Sydney, same way it's spelt in Canada for your Sydney.
Okay, it's loading. Jesus. 41 out. Holy crap. Holy shit. That's the drive.
That's why we fly.
Oh my god. No.
So yeah, when we turn
around
and we're like,
bigger than you? What the fuck?
Yeah, so
okay, hold on. We got to do Toronto. I want to see how far Toronto to Vancouver is. 41 hours. Jesus. I don't know why it's taking for. Okay, so Toronto to Vancouver is the same amount of time, and the best part is it's recommending that you go through America because it's shorter by 4 hours.
There you go.
If you go through Canada, it's 46 hours. Oh man, we can make this so much worse. We could go from like Montreal or we go from Halifax. Yeah, Halifax. This is the fun part about the world that I love. It's just like, oh, where are we going?
But no, with the
56 hours, Jesus.
Fuck.
And that's through the US. Oh no.
So so that's why we fly.
Yeah. Oh my god. My flight from Winnipeg to Calgary this weekend was $400.
It's not bad.
It's a 13-hour drive.
$600. That's not too bad. But yeah, so when you have such a high cost and time commitment as well for the events, it's while the community, like my community, is awesome. A lot of newer players, obviously, because we're a young community. It's a lot more fun for me if I'm wanting to compete and play good players. Is to just it's better for us to run more events to get. It's easier for us to run more events with smaller totals to get higher chances at tickets, and then we have our big events now and then, than it is for us to just pump out one big event.
Okay.
Like 24 players, 24 players as a one-dayer means that you're solely on SOS, which we found just ends up with people being a lot shittier with results than actually being happy they play a 24-player event for one day.
Like, yeah, to be honest, I hate SOS as like a tiebreak. It makes sense for drops. Don't get me wrong, but also it like fucks you over for drop. I don't know. Years ago I lost a first spot to SOS, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And so I've kind of just hated it ever since. And every time it rears its ugly head, I still hate it.
Yeah, I've had some near misses of SOS where I've been tie, but due to me just scoring more points as the actual tiebreaker, it means that I get to push ahead as like a second or third slots, which has been nice.
I just feel like there's but there is. Just do round robin. Everyone plays everybody until it's all sorted. But okay,
marathon at Ironman.
Yeah, here's single round elimination. It's like a Smash tournament. My next actual question is, what do you think is the amount of players in Australia? Because it like weirdly enough, it seems like there's actually quite a bit of players in Australia compared to other places in the world, especially a lot of because as you explained, there's a lot of kind of isolated pockets, and you guys kind of play in your groups and then get together for the big events. Because after you tell me the number, my next question is, how many big events do you run each year in Australia that incentivizes the player base to kind of get together and have those large events to play at? So
yeah, so
numbers first.
So yeah, we're very dedicated. So number wise, I don't know, players would probably be, if we include like more casual players, which a lot of my 24 are, you're probably looking at 150, 200 like people who'd probably sign unique IDs for tournaments, maybe a bit less, 150. That'd be unique IDs for tournaments. But again, not everyone can travel. It's expensive, and not everyone can make it everywhere. But yeah, I'd probably say 150, 200 unique IDs is what you'd see in the tournament year.
And then how many large events do you have? Like stuff that I would say is 5 rounds or above.
Yeah, so 5 rounds or above. So that's 20-ish or above players. So we have 7 scheduled this year. What are they? That's not Moab, HeroCon, CanCon, BrizCon, Clash of the Coast, Conquer Canberra, and I'm forgetting West Coast War. So there'd be the 7 this year. And because we have to travel so much, we all try to make sure we're all aware of what the events are. So there'll be 7 2-dayers this year, unless something pops up. And they're all aiming to be 5 rounds minimum. I think CanCon's 6.
Nice.
So I think we've sold 38 tickets out of 50. So that's not for another 3 months. So hopefully we fire that off. That'll be the biggest event in Australia so far.
Great.
Which will be good.
Weirdly, I'm looking at the world map here, and my next question is: do you get anyone who comes in from like the Oceanic, like Singapore, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, any of that? Do they ever come down to Australia, or is it like the sea stops that?
No, so we don't get any Kiwis, so I don't know why the New Zealand boys don't jump across. It'd be great to have them. We'd love to have them for CanCon.
Let me put the distance thing across here. Just to how far away from that is to Sydney? Oh, just a casual...
So it's about a 3-hour flight.
Oh, yeah, it's about way 3-hour easier. Flight.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's easier than flying. So I don't know why the Kiwi boys. I guess the cost might be it, but they should come over. It'd be great fun. Some of the Singaporeans will fly down to Perth because it is closer for Perth and Singapore to fly to each other than it is for Perth to fly to Sydney. So we're meant to have an event later in the season, which will have some of the Singaporeans come down. I know there's a bit of rivalry there, and I'll be going across for that one, which will be good. But otherwise, not really. I do know some of the international lads are looking to come over in 27 for CanCon, which would be cool.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, I know, it'd be good. We've got a couple, so we'll wait and see if after this Chios the coming year, he return and rile up the boys to come across. But yeah, otherwise, not really. A lot of the Oceania pockets are very small, and it's a lot of a community, and it's expensive to get to Australia.
Really? Okay, so from Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, it's a 3-hour, 10-minute flight and costs $663 Canadian to go from Wellington to Sydney. I think they can do it.
Yes. Oh no, so New Zealand's probably the cheapest one to come from. It's the closest. Now, so because all that stuff's on the east coast, so it'd be sick to have many of the Kiwi boys come over. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think it's just cost for a lot of people because it is a big commitment, as you'd know. You know, spend a lot of money having to fly around to go to these events for a couple of days away.
Oh my god! So from Winnipeg to Sydney is an 18-hour and 30-minute It says it has one or more stops. But
Yeah, so have one stop. You'd fly
it's
to
also
Vancouver and down.
$2,000.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
probably going to
it's,
Vancouver, then flying from Vancouver to Sydney.
you can do it direct there, which is fine.
Like it
Yeah,
is
you
an
can.
international airport. Like weirdly enough, sometimes you do get some weird like direct flights from places.
Yeah. So it's one stop from Winnipeg, but it's direct from Vancouver.
Now I'm thinking $1,000. All right. Just show up.
Well,
Sup, guys? I got the toolbox again.
Well, the cool thing is, flying over like with Australia, and this is the thing which I think people do miss out on. It's like it's kind of like us all going to Greece. It's like you can get a proper holiday out of it. There's a lot to see here, so it's good.
Yeah, I would. Like, if I'm... Don't get me wrong, we had a proper holiday in Chios. Like, I went to Athens, went to the Greek countryside and saw a bunch of stuff. But, like, especially traveling to a new country and especially across the ocean, like, I feel I would want to, for sure, put a week to 10 days in that country to see everything. Like,
You'd see some things in Australia. You would not see everything. I can promise you that.
Oh, it's so fucking big.
But you'd be able to see a couple of cities. Yeah, you'd be able to see a couple of the big cities and some of the good sites though, which is good for 10 days to sort you out.
See some spiders. Now,
Probably.
man, now I'm already thinking about this trip to Australia.
You'll find Conquest players pretty much anywhere on our eastern seaboard, so you'll be sorted.
Good. See if the girlfriend was to come and she'd be like, "How can you guys talk about Conquest for 18 hours straight?" I'm like, "What? It's fun."
It's good.
She was making fun of me for that.
Well, I don't know. It seems a bit weird to me traveling to a Conquest event to not talk about Conquest. You know?
Yeah. Just stand there.
Hi, I've gathered Stavros sitting there. Hi, I've gathered 16 like-minded individuals from across the world to not talk about the thing they're all traveled here for.
You imagine if I started talking about like Canadian hockey, like the NHL, I'd be like, "So, you see that game between Edmonton and Calgary last night? Flames did pretty well." And just be like,
it'd be the same as someone here start talking about footy, being like, "Oh yeah, how'd you find the league last night?" And you guys would be like, "The what?"
Yeah. It's so good. Oh my god. Okay, so how's your local scene? So on a more local level, like what store do you play out of or club? I'm not sure how you guys do it in Australia if you're club focused.
Yeah, generally most people go out of most people go out of stores. We're a bit of a unique situation where we are a club, and we have 2.5 stores kind of around us. So we've got our local, which popped up, Guildhall Games. He started stocking Conquest and stuff off the generous soul he is. And we start out of the back of that. We operate at a veterans centre now. So we do a lot of sponsorship for Australian Defence Force veterans and that sort of thing. The town we're in is big on that. So all of the proceeds from all of our tournaments go towards that. So we're a fundraising club as well,
Oh, nice.
which is awesome. So we've raised a couple of grand each year for our events, which is awesome. And everyone's always so generous when they come over to throw some dollars in the pot. So we do that, and then we have a not yet international stockist, but absolute legend and probably got the biggest collection of Conquest for Jack from Cryptic Battlefield. So he did like my Australian jersey I had for the event, but it was too hot to wear because Greece is, warm.
Hey, I didn't bitch out like some people, and I wore that fucking jersey.
Mine's a proper sports jersey though, not a baseball jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry if that's what was chosen for us.
But yeah, no, so we've got Cryptic Battlefield there who sponsors and helps run a bunch of our events. He does so much for us. So Jack's fantastic. He does probably half the 2 days in Australia he goes out of his way to do stuff to sort us out. So we work alongside them a lot with our club, but our club better lucky than good because, we're spuds like that.
Mm-hmm.
We just rock around and do a bunch of stuff. But local scene wise, we're very young, which does make it hard for me for like Chaos. It was very, very difficult for me to get practice in. Because politely to my boys there is a skill gap between the top players and the mid-table players by quite a bit. Just experience in war games, coming into fundamental knowledge.
So I'm gonna give you a compliment here. Prepare your body for this. Open yourself up to receiving what I'm about to give you. When we met at Chios, the first thing I noticed about you was your incredible knowledge and attention to detail about the game of Conquest. and how you immediately analyzed a lot of different parts of the game and were very easily able to explain and expand upon it.
Thank you.
Well,
Benefit of working in the industry for a while in regards to like hobby shops and having to teach new players, it means that you have to take a interesting look at it. But it also comes down to like with my club, I said a lot of new players, so got to break everything down to layman's terms. So it does mean that I try to do that. But I appreciate that.
no problem. I knew immediately that even though you're a fun guy and like shooting the shit and having a great time, I knew immediately like Saxon's actually very good at this game because he has a ton of knowledge about this game that I know a lot of people would not.
I sponge off. So I'll jump over this one. I sponge off better players in Australia, and that's not to shoot myself down, but just to reference people. I got to Chios last year without a single event win. I got there off second in pretty much everything, but I was the most consistent player and got there. Still got the best record for an Australian at Chios, though. I'll take that.
Didn't you beat
but
Reese's
I came back.
record?
So I beat Reese's record and I beat Ewan's record this year.
Nice job.
And the only people I dropped to were Emmanuel and Carl, which is saying something. But as soon as I got back, as we were just talking about, as soon as I got back, I made sure to try to cement some confidence in myself by going and winning an event. But no, yeah, I appreciate it.
Well,
but yeah, so
Brandon from UK goes 1-3
my boy,
and then he just fucking crushes it back home. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna 5-0 with my new powers, my new hockey that I gained at Chios." Just fucking demolished his meta and the entire.
Brandon absolutely deserved that win. Bro absolutely smashed it. I was talking to him because Brandon was phenomenal. Like everyone at Chios was amazing, but Brandon and I definitely hit it off.
Oh yeah, I have that blowjob picture that I use every once in a while.
It's a good photo. But it's absolutely phenomenal. Bloke stepped in like me. I'll be honest, mad imposter syndrome with Chios. As I said, didn't win any events, got there. And then I know both of us were absolutely stoked being able to get our event wins coming back into Australia. First event off the back of Chios just to prove a point.
And that's like the thing.
Man's a saint.
No matter where any of these people positioned at Chios, they're all phenomenal players.
Yeah, you qualified for the World Championship. Must be trash.
Yeah. Like, oh god. Like, no, you're good, and it's really funny because I think it was Brandon actually talking to him like after his buddies back home were like ripping into him and stuff, and he was like, "No, I'll fucking show you," and then he did because he's the man.
And it's an absolute saint. Him and I've been talking a bunch after the events. Just general support and stuff throughout the events, which has been good. It's like, he's like, "Oh, you got a tournament this weekend?" So yeah, it's like, "What's this running? What are you doing? Fucking smash it!" And just like updates because he was working night shift while I was doing my event, so he's on the same time schedule as I am then. And he's like, "What's the live updates? Come on, I've got to go to bed. Fucking tell me how we're going." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." It was good, and I was doing the same for him at LG too. So it was
that's fantastic.
Was absolute pleasure.
To be honest, I hope I see you guys both at Chios. Like, I hope myself personally I qualify for Chios this year, and then I also see both of you guys back again, and just so I can see the bromance live out once again.
Yeah, I'm definitely making the run again. What we're really trying to do is trying to get Australia 2 tickets. We're just short events last year to get our second ticket.
Because you have to run for a second ticket anyway.
It's percentage based. So if the US and Poland and the other big countries run less events, it's easier for us. But I think last year was like 15 to 16 was like the minimum you needed for 2 tickets.
Oh, Canada had 13. Damn it.
Yeah. So you got to really push, but everyone's pushing for more tickets, so it makes it harder to run more events. And then but yeah, I'll be making the Chios run, taking it quite a bit more seriously this year than I did last year. I guess I skipped over it before when we were talking about how long I've been playing Wargaming, but for Chios, I've only been playing for the year. I literally have only been playing for the season for Conquest. That's it. So as you said, everyone's a bit dumpy in their first year and a bit all over the place. But much more of a lock in this year to go for Chios again.
Oh, I'm really glad. And to be honest, I want to see. There's dreams. There's dreams and there's reality, and I want to see the guys back again at Chios. They show up again. We have an amazing time. We have it great. But I also want to see new people and more people at Chios. Like I would like to see it expanded. I know after being on that island, it would be incredibly tough. Like it loses all its I don't know, glitter or glimmer or
Loses all its charm.
yeah, it loses all its charm the moment you go to Athens. Weirdly enough, like Athens itself was fun and exciting to run around and do everything there, but also know that the tournament and what it brings and what they're doing with Chios, and it's more as like a retreat. You can't do it in the city, and it kind of has to be that island. But like finding out what their restrictions on that island are is tough.
Yeah, the big I think the big bullet in the coffin for trying to expand Chaos is the +1 thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I reckon everyone should be able to bring a +1. That's amazing that Parabellum does that. But all of a sudden, adding one player is adding 2 people, you know? And all of a sudden, you go from, oh, we'll add 8 more seats to that's 16 more people, and it's so small. Like, it was amazing, and I think we're all absolutely spoilt to have been there. But it's, yeah, all of a sudden, you go something from what we had 32 people there with the players, and then some +1s and not +1s added on, and then all of a sudden, and the staff was probably 40 people. You add another 8 people, you're at 60-something people, and I don't think our little area could handle 60 people where we were.
Well, also the other thing is the restaurants. Like the restaurants were like almost to capacity when we'd show up in groups.
Yeah, it's a big one. I think I would prefer for Chios to keep it that small, intimate feeling, and people compete for the spots. And anyone who's listening to this who hasn't thought about doing a Chios run, do the fucking Chios run. Honestly, it's so worth it. It's amazing. Just straight up.
Like here's the other thing.
You're an idiot for not trying.
Yeah, like another thing about the Chios run is that it'll actually, like, if you want to even just improve as a player, going for the Chios run gets you connected with a lot of those other top end players a lot easier because you're at the same events they are. You get chatting. You show up that you're doing well, and you guys start like forming bonds and being like, oh, that's Greg. Greg's trying to make a Chios run. Let's just chat with Greg because he's cool, and and you guys start talking more. You start developing a lot more your skills. You're looking at the game differently, and like, yes, I'm pushing like a high competitive like viewpoint. What's fine because you're going for Chios, it's Worlds. But like, if you just want to get better at the game, like going for the Chios run will help you with that because you're going to be looking at everything you do and decision you make as, hey, can this be better? What could I have done is better? How can I improve this? Like, there's going to be a lot of those questions for yourself, and then also that building of the connections and that the communication. What do they call it in business? Why am I drawing blanks here? There's a word for this where it's like you're socializing in business to build connections.
Okay. You network.
Network. There we go. You do some networking.
Yeah, which Chios has done, I think, phenomenally for anyone who went to Chios has come away with international mates. Like, yeah. I talk piss with you boys all the time. Exactly. I talk piss with you boys all the time. Brandon, Ray, just like being able to reach out and do stuff like that. And the other big one too is like, yeah, you're just going to improve. And at least for Australia, and I imagine for some of the other countries, maybe not the US because the Adepticon's so big, but you just need one decent tournament win or do well at a tournament, and all of a sudden you're up on the scoreboard. Yeah. So it's not out of your sights. It's just like, snap your head in, have a crack. You'll get there. Now the issue is you got to beat last year's Chios players who were all fanging to go back. So good luck.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was thinking like, okay, I'll do Chios, this will be fun. Then I'll like dick around, do whatever. And now I'm like, I have to go back. I have to play games. Okay, let's get some games going. I need to.
Yeah, I was.
I'm like, we need Canada to get in their spot, and then I need Canada to get a second spot, just like you said. Because like, I would love for another Canadian. Like Luke went as the Ogham winner, and Luke's fantastic. But
Luke's a saint.
Oh yeah,
he's great,
and he's actually a pretty good player too. But I want more people to go and play the game, and get more people out there. And I'm kind of like I'm traveling fucking across the country to go play games so that events can kick off, so I can get those world seats, so I can contribute, and I can also just socialize with the guys.
That's the other thing too is like, if you are in a country like us where you have to travel a decent amount, there is a financial cost to trying to make this run. Like anyone who's just like, oh, they just played good, they got that. Like we're still throwing dollars down to have to get to these events to go places, and it's spenny. Like, so it shows how much we're taking it seriously. So but yeah, I reckon, as I said, have a crack. Like, just takes one event to jump up, and then
Or you can move to
run.
Michigan, where it's the mecca of Conquest there.
Yeah, there's a downside to that though.
You have to deal with
Michigan.
Carl and whatever he's doing.
No, that's great. Oh, fucking, I don't mind. I'd love playing Carl as on the week every week, but no, you've got to move to Michigan.
Welcome to America. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's this place called Hell in Michigan, and I'm like, they have to do a tournament in Hell.
It's probably where the boys spawned from. Just come out of hell for the game.
This is the fucking biomancer spitting the pot, and then out comes these drones. It's like, who are you?
Carl just rolls out.
He's already wearing the ferromantic wingsuit, ready to go. You're like, oh, god damn it. This motherfucker came out with a set of dice.
Just imagine Steve being like some bioman. I imagine Steve being the bioman, actually, I'll be honest. Just there with his little smirk on. He's like, don't worry, these are my players.
You've seen him, like, straight-faced, just, like, deadpan everything he does, and it's just like, oh, boy. Here comes out the Spire drones, and, like, coming down the hall is, like, Carl, Chuck, Brian, Huckleberry, just, like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, what are you feeding them, dude? Oh, we've been just pumping protein into the shake lately.
Oh, it's just like, yeah. No, it's probably a good one to jump on then, is how Chios was before I start talking about all the boys and how much I love them all.
Some homoerotic shit going on here.
Oh man, they're fucking, as I said, everyone was an absolute legend at Chios. It was great.
Okay. No, keep going.
I was just thinking, so I enjoyed Chios so much that I've got Adepticon on the books. Once tickets go live, I'll lock in flights as well. Because it was just like everyone was blew me away. How nice everyone was, how chilled out everyone was, how just like fun everyone was. To hang out with and do stuff. So it was just for those of you listening who think about the Chios run or are scared of it because you think some big bad players there, get good. In the proper way, practice. No, not. This isn't grumpy Carl get good. This is like you can make the run too.
This comes from a certified man who has fucked so many spiders to get good. He's immune to the toxics.
Denial allegation till evidence proven otherwise. So it's it is honestly one of those things where talk to your clubs, talk to the Chios players. Like, unless you're an idiot, they're not going to bite back or have anything to say. It's have a chat to them, reach out, see what they can do to help you, see how you can get better. Do the runs, go to events, because even if you're not getting to Chios, going to the events and hang out with everyone is just fucking awesome. So get on it.
Yeah,
that's all I got for that one. Man.
I agree. And fuck was it? You probably got DM'd by Carl at some point where he's like, "What do you think about Chios and seats?" And I was like, "I kind of want like 2 seats, but you kind of have to play X amount of games to get your second seat, and like the 5 events." But I also see from his viewpoint in like America just being fucking huge, and they're like running 60 events a year. Like, it doesn't work like that for them at all. But for smaller stuff like fucking Canada, or Australia, where stuff is so far spread out that it's harder to like get more events in. Where I would like, they kind of like, if they get 15 games, they get 2 seats kind of thing locked in. But I'm also like, but then you're just doing like these regions are now like special, and you can't have that either. So I'm like, you're kind of fucked with whatever system you're using. I think like you gotta kind of play the game with the current system of just sadly do run more events.
Yeah, I was quite vocal of it about Chios. I'm quite vocal about everything, but I was quite vocal at Chios and didn't pull the punches when it came to kind of throwing the shade around about events and that sort of thing. I absolutely get how the US operates in that, and I appreciate them, and I'm glad all the boys were there. I wouldn't want to take a seat away from any of them. Even the Argon boys were phenomenal. Love Steve. Dusty was amazing. Sam was great. Everyone was fantastic. Everyone was just fucking great. But there needs to be a look at how they do it, because the fact is it's a bit different to be like, I'm the best person in my region, to being like, I'm the 5th best person in my region. I would rather go to an event and know that the top 2 players from every region are there, rather than go to it and be like the top player from every region except for Poland and the US is there because they've got 3 or 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I would rather go there and be like, let me get a better snapshot of what each country's like. I also think it might be better for it's not an issue for me, because I'm fucking a social butterfly like a mother trucker. Give me a beer and I'm happy for days. But I think it would be good to incentivize other players who might be a bit more nervous because it is a weird thing to rock up and be like, "Hello, my fellow conquestors. What's the haps?"
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, literally. I've got to send you some memes later.
Oh boy.
I was the Australian community memed me up more for all my Chaos photos.
Well, you gotta send me one of them so I can use it as the photo for the YouTube version of this podcast.
No problem.
He's so good.
But yeah, for seats, we spoke about it. I think in a perfect world, it would be, Chaos tournaments 3 days, make it a 5-round event where you do 2-2-1. Add the extra day on there and go to 24 people, and that way you can give everyone else a seat, and the US sits at 5, and that's literally a non-issue.
Yeah,
South America runs some events, and then we can talk about your seat if it's real. But until then,
yeah, yep.
That's all there is.
I just have no idea. I don't think anyone's playing in South America.
I know. I saw some dude on Discord being like, "I'm in Brazil," and I was like, "Go, man, you got this." But
South America. I thought we were talking about Africa. Sorry, no, South America. No. Players. Africa, I don't think has any players either.
I'm kind of worried. You were just looking at a world map and you're like, South America, Africa. Yeah, I got you.
Well, no, I was. That's exactly what happened. I'm staring at Africa right now because I was going to talk about Emmanuel in Italy, and I was going to bring up that Emmanuel from Italy went to Poland and a different region to gain all his points, and then his community was very happily to run enough events in Italy to get him his spot from Italy and not be take a Polish seat kind of thing. Like that's the other thing. I'm going to a different region, doing well, and then qualifying for that region, even though you're not a member of said region. That's not a thing.
This is going to be a controversial one here, and this is no shade thrown at anyone. This is no shade thrown at anyone.
Yes, it is.
I fucking hate the ability because I want to go to Adepticon, right? I want to go to Adepticon. It's gonna be sick. I'm going to be registering a different account to go to Adepticon because I don't want to blow out the players in my region because I want to compete with my mates to go to Chios. I want the best of us for that season to go there. I don't want to be like, I've gone here and gotten all these points. Suck a dick, boys, when I know how much it costs us all to do. And that's no shade to anyone who does. That's no.
Wait a minute.
It's just one of those things.
How can I do that?
For me. Yeah, exactly. No. It's one of those things for me. It's playing the game of Conquest is about, as I said, Chios is one event a year, right? It's one weekend once a year out of the 52 weekends I could possibly spend playing Chios a year, playing Conquest a year. I'd rather be happy with the other 51 because I'm getting to play with my mates who I see and talk to every day and that sort of thing, or online or whatever, and adore playing with and compete with, than I would, absolutely fuck my roster at least for the Australian community, because we're a small country and we might only get one seat. So I do have PB. I have some questions for and how they want to do that. Because I don't like the ability to do that. Okay. It's literally pay to win, and that's dog shit.
No,
you have to still perform. It's still perform, but it's pay to win, and it's dog shit.
Okay, I hear you. Now here's the
thing. And Mass, if you cut this out, I will find you.
That's fine. Come at me, bro. You're gonna show up with with 2 snakes on your holster ready to go, and I'm gonna fucking run at you with a goddamn machete, and you'll be like, "Whoa, this is fucked up," and I'm like, "It sure is, baby. Let me cut off your arms and leave you freezing at -40. I know you haven't experienced winter."
I've been where it's cold before, one time in the sky. No,
you haven't experienced real cold.
No, I have not, and I don't plan to anytime soon. But no, I think
it's gonna be that Senator Armstrong meme, but it's gonna be me running at you with a machete.
Oh, fucking rabbits!
Boom.
If only that was the first time. No, back to Emmanuel and everything. I think that's phenomenal that his community pulled together to do that. I think that's fucking awesome, and that's what I want to see, is communities running enough events to get seats to do that.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like the fact, and it's not on him or on you or anyone who's casual events, because travel the events, they're there, right? Like, as I want to go to Adepticon, that's fucking sick. And I would love to go to Singapore for the year ends. I might be going to England for an event. Fucking Mr. Worldwide here by accident. Before Chaos, because
you're gonna need a new name. No longer Saxon. Yeah, well, fuck spiders. Mr. Worldwide, who brings spiders to fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, in respect to you, I forgot to mention, for that first event where I came back to Australia, I did submit my list as "I'm here to cuck spiders." Shout out. I did submit it as there.
Oh my god.
That one's yeah, that was.
Okay, I have something really funny to tell you, because we have to come back, because I want to have a greater discussion on the going to different regions and talk. By the way,
yeah, go for it.
I want us to have an actual discussion about that and a back and forth, because I am interested in your point of view, and just have a talk about it, because like I think it needs to be expanded upon and open up more to see kind of like the full spectrum of that, of what the hell's going on.
Yeah, go for it.
So, however, did you, because you said your list, I'm gonna pull it up, it says not here to fuck spiders. Okay, did you get an email from Leandro saying, can you change the name of your list? Because guess who did get an email about that?
The difference is between you and me, Mass, is that's a cultural reference. That's he can't deny my culture of spiders, and swearing in Australia. Swearing in Australia is the same as talking normally. And if Leo had sent me a message like that, I can promise you the message I would have sent back probably would have been along the lines of "get fucked."
So he sent me. I know this isn't fun, but can you change the name of your list? Because I originally sent him a list called "Swiggity Swooty, I'm coming for that Hogusi." No, it was worse. "Swiggity Swooty, I'm coming for that Jeff Usi." Now Jeff isn't Judge Worm Jeff. It's actually Saskatoon Jeff, who I've been living with for like the past 9-ish months, or maybe almost over 9 months in Saskatchewan, working while I was also traveling to another province to get games in for Conquest. And I worked like 5 weeks straight and like took off a couple key weekends to then travel to a different province to play, because I was closer to get enough games in to qualify for Canada. So it's like a fucking mess to actually qualify. But in honor of Jeff, because I said originally I named the list Swiggity Swooty, I'm coming for that Haguti. But because I made a couple changes, I needed a new name. I went with that. Leandro sent me an email saying, please change the name. So I went with Swiggity Swooty, I'm coming for that hog Uti, and I just spaced out the word Uti and hog. And then I sent it back, and then he never replied. So I was like, hell yeah.
There's probably a conversation where he turns around and he's like, is this worth the effort? And Stavros is like, I don't give a fuck. Just put the list up. Just put the list up.
Stavros looks at that one video of me dumping the Archangel in Jello. It's like, dude, you're talking to a crazy person. Yeah, why? That's all he said. Why?
No, there's no emails about my list, and if there was, I missed them.
Fucking bastard gets away with it. I have to fucking come up with something clever. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. That's what I tell you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go for it. Okay.
No, you go for it.
All right, fine. We'll go back to the big events in different regions. So, my point of view of big events in different regions is, I get invited. There are many people who message me on the Discord saying, hey, I'm having an event in, recently one of them was in Ohio, where Patrick, gentleman from Games Battle Center? Patrick. Actually, we did a podcast with him. The event is game night, but it's from his store, Battleground Game Center. There we go. Invited me out to go to Ohio to play at his event, because he actually thought I was in Michigan. I said no. But because I'm like over 18 hours away. I do get invited out to go to like Spokane in Washington. What is, would you guess it? Like 13, 14 hours away. Sadly, I cannot go because I would have to make time and figure all that out. So there's a lot of people do invite me out to go traveling, especially in the US, to play games. Mostly because they know who I am and want to like bring me down. Now the thing is like I do love going to the US. I do love playing the games with the people there. I do love going to Canada, living in Canada and playing the games there. But I also can't just be like going around and like playing these games weirdly enough, because it is a time cost thing. For Adepticon, the first time I did it was mostly just as a oh, I want to go to the big war game. That like you go to a big event. Like I wanted, it was like my first real big event, and I wanted to really experience it, and it's kind of the biggest event for Conquest. I think Amulet D20 got very. Did they do 5 rounds or 6? I forget. I think they did 6, but I think they had they only had 52 players, so that's like the next biggest one. So like you want to go to a big event, you want to play, you want to do well and all that stuff, or show up and have fun. Like a lot of the times for a lot of these events, my expectation is to like go 2-2. To be honest, like I'm not too worried of like, oh, I got to win everything. It's more like I'm just here to play well and have fun, and I want to go to these events. Like GRG last summer was mostly like, hey, we're doing a big event, Mass, do you want to come down? And I'm like, sure, why not? Like I need practice for Chios. I'm going to get 5 games in on a weekend, and probably around game 3, I'm going to start playing, like, the better players who are going to be competition, the practice I need, and that's exactly what happened. So, a lot of it is, like, strategic choices to like, I need to play games in Canada, I need to play games in the US, or I don't need to play games in the US, but I want to go down and I want to, like, play games with people I know, enjoy dinners.
The lads are amazing. Like,
yeah,
literally what you're saying here is the reason I want to go to Adepticon. The only reason I'm not like I'm traveling to Adepticon for the experience of going and playing Adepticon because I don't give a shit about the points. Because at the end of the day, is those points like if you're traveling to earn points internationally, all you're doing is probably giving yourself a shit time and stressing about something which you might not have control over because dice are pricks. Right? Yeah. I would rather travel to Adepticon to see Mass, to see all the boys, because I know they're there. If any of the other internationals there, fuck yeah, like it's
trying to get the Polish.
I'm going for the good time. I'm going for I'm going for a good time, not for a game in it. Yeah. It's that should be why you're traveling for these events, is for the community and is to do the cool stuff. And that's where my issue with the world points is, because at the end of the day is if you're not going to travel to Adepticon, for example, if you don't want to go to Adepticon to hang out and play your 6 games or 7 games or however big the bloody event's going to be this year, to have a good time and enjoy playing the game you're traveling to play, Conquest, and love it, you shouldn't probably go. End of the day, unless you're at your region.
Yeah. So are you saying like, I don't know, let's just zoom out here really. If somebody from like Australia travels all the way to Adepticon expecting to do really well to gain enough points to qualify in Australia and literally just doing it for the points, like you're in for the wrong motivation. Is it like a motivational thing? Because I know.
I'm gonna be real impolite to someone if they try to do that. Don't be a bitch. Come win at home.
Okay.
Like that's it. Is like if you need to go to a different region to beat your best players, get fucked. Politely. like that shouldn't be. And yeah, that would be something where it rubs me the wrong way, because the fact is you should be able to play well enough in your home region and do well enough with your mates. Because the end of the day is, unless someone is a bit of a twat, you're not going to have there shouldn't be issues of that sort when you're playing Toy Soldiers. You should be able to go on, get on with the players, and go for the good time, the social time. Like that's doesn't mean going out and getting pissed on the beers and stuff, but you are also spending 12 hours a day playing Toy Soldiers, like
damn straight
at these events. Damn right, you're playing Toy Soldiers, and that's it. You should be having a good time with the people you're playing with, and that's why you should be traveling, not for points, because if you're traveling to game a system, you're gaming the system, and that's kind of dog act for
so what, you're gonna get lads. Like negative you're gonna get negative social credits to her. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and people, when you get to Chios, everyone's super chill, and 9 out of 10 people probably won't care, but sure as shit will be that 1 or 2 people who turn around and be like, well, actually, I'll use you as an example, Mas, because you went to Adepticon, but you performed well, you played well, but you went to Adepticon to have fun and play with your mates. Which is the right way to do it. That's the right way to do it. End of the day is you wouldn't have traveled down there if you didn't have the boys to see and hang out and do stuff with it, right?
Also, like my first Adepticon was really weird because everyone knew who I was. I didn't know who they were. But my second Adepticon was really fun because now I knew who everyone was. So now I could just be like, oh, hey there. They're like, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, yes, Patrick, I remember you. You're a nice guy. I'm calling Patrick out by name. You don't know his online handle, but that's fine. He knows who he is, and he's in the BonkTable Discord. So, and like Melon Ninja, I know Melon
Patrick,
Ninja.
you're a nice guy.
He's a super nice guy. met him at Adepticon, super sweet. By the way, Melon Ninja, I know you're gonna listen to this episode, so here's your reminder to please timestamp everything so it's easier for everyone else, because you know I'm not gonna do it. And I also greatly appreciate that you do this to all my episodes. So, Melon Ninja, great guy, met him at Adepticon, and then I've also played. He was at GRG with us, played there. I actually hope to see him for BonkCon, because he lives only like less than 12 hours away. I think he's like 10 hours away, around Minneapolis or somewhere in, I don't know, fucking or Rochester. I'm just looking at the map here. But anyway, hope to see him there, because he's gonna have a great time. And like, also he's a super nice, super swell, and like these are the people I like hanging out with. Like, here, I'll talk about the Canadians. We got Will. Okay. Will likes to play dark horse shit, and he's fucking annoying, but he's also really nice, really good player. Always have a blast playing him, and he's one of my hardest matches, quotes, locally, considering we are from cities that are like 14 hours away. I consider him a local. Yeah. Like,
that's fair.
And like, we got Will, we got Mike. Mike's a really good player. We have our own Reese, so we have Canadian Reese. Reese is fantastic. He's actually like really super nice to talk to. Enjoy him. We have a Canadian Brian who plays City States. I always enjoy my games into him. I think he's actually a really good City States player. He always performs really well and always like gets me with some trick, and I'm like, God damn it, Brian, like fucking hate this. We got Lena, who like organizes a lot of the stuff in Alberta, and she does a fantastic job doing that. Like, these are just people off the top of my head. We have Dino, who does a lot of the trophy making and also does a lot of the BonkTable products. And also, usually if you see something on his Etsy store, it's because there was a need for it / widgets that I wanted, that I was like, you should sell these. People want them, and he does sell them. I hope to see him this weekend, honestly, just so that... And he said he's going to play, so he better play or else I'm going to twist his nipples.
Yeah, I've never seen Dino on the Discord. I've just seen someone timed out.
Oh, Dino's not timed out. Fixing this very quickly. Yeah. Oh,
that was one of the weirdest things at the house. I'm sitting there, and Carl, who I've just met, all of a sudden like stands up like a meerkat and is like, "Dino posted. He's not timed out. Give me a moment." Yeah. I was like, what happened to a dinosaur? I don't understand what's happening.
So Dino runs, him and his wife own Sewn Geekery, what is an Etsy store in Canada that has a bunch of like nerdy stuff. I bought a couple products from them to like give as gifts, because they're actually really nicely made. They're usually nerd associated, so it's really easy. Find something there for, you know, a friend or your special someone, you know, whatever. But they have a lot of good stuff. But one of the things like that Dino does is he actually has like an acrylic cutter. So he'll do the designs with like sheets of acrylic and then cut them out. So I have a whole widget set. And you saw at Chios, Peter, Brian, and Carl had measuring sticks from 4 to 16, as well.
Yeah,
as,
I got
those...
I loved them. I got the boys to send me a link.
Yeah. Because they originally were being sold on like Muson Minis, but it seems like the Muson Mini store is dead. So now it's like, what do? Let's just make our own, because there's a need for it. So, Dino does that, and I've always greatly appreciated it. I have a bunch of his trophies, and as is tradition, once I win one of his trophies, I don't do this on purpose, but it's started to become a tradition where I drop it on the floor for some reason immediately once I get it.
Well, I would, Dino might need to invest in some cushioning or something for his fucking trophies, and then he's just throwing them at the floor.
Like, I know, like last time, like I got a 3rd place trophy and I got bumped and immediately ended up on the floor in like 5 minutes. I'm like, God damn it. And the one at GamesCon last season, where I won the like, I guess it's quotes like the big event. There was a bigger Canadian one. I think like we were getting ready to like do the group photo, and it immediately like slipped out of my hand or something and fell on the floor. I'm like, God damn it. Like they just keep ending up on the floor. But yeah. No, I really like the people. And like, to be honest, like if you're not traveling to like see your friends or hang out with people, why are you doing this? Because like it's the dinners.
Yep. Yeah, UK players, you should like organize dinners among yourselves. We yelled at Brandon a bunch to fucking make you guys sort your shit out. So get on that, boys.
Yeah, fucking suck. Get your dinner. You know what? I'm gonna DM Just Roll Runs Aaron and just curse him out right now, real quick, as a reminder. do this live.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's at least my 2 cents on the points across the world. Because yeah, like the fact is, I want to go to events around the world, because that's fucking sick. I get to go and play the little war dollies I like playing and hang out with all the chads and lads I get to meet along the way. And I just think, yeah, the fact that it's tainted almost by the possibility of me ruining, I guess, for lack of a better term, the local ecosystem of at home, because I went and did a thing I was able to do, but nobody else could do, is, yeah, I think I'm already getting the benefit of going off to get to play these events and do these cool things. I don't want to punish my mates at home for it and be like, haha, I'm making Chios exclusive to me because I decided to drop more money than you did. It's just fucking dumb.
Yeah, I'm just like I'll be honest. I'm kind of stuck in a spot of like I don't attend as many events as I would like to attend. So I'm like, I need these fucking events. God damn it.
Yeah, but I think if you had not been to Adepticon before and you chose to go now specifically to get points, and you got off the back of that, that's where my problem would be with it, rather than the fact is you've gone to Adepticon the last 2 years in a row. The first time just because you could, last year because you were meeting up mates and wanted to play, and this year now because you're going to meet up with mates who want to play. You know,
yeah, like,
that's what it is.
I don't know. I get your thing of like doing another account so it doesn't fuck up your ecosystem, but like, how you got less than 15 events last year and only had a spot.
But the difference is for me too, though, is like, it's going to cost me the better part of $4,000 probably to get over there and stay there, and 18 to 19 hours on a fucking aircraft to get over to wherever.
You're gonna have to poop on that plane.
Probably.
Like,
resign to that fact.
I don't know. There's like from hearing from the guys, they're like, get half the points of whatever position. I'm like, okay, that kind of helps. Like, because I get it. Like, they don't want, like, if you go to another region, like, their system is also kind of weird where you qualify the region you play the most games into. So, like, you can only do so many events in another region if you want to qualify for your own as well. So it doesn't...
How many points did you end up with end of last season?
I had, like... Actually, I think I topped out at 109 or 106.
Yeah, so you're about the same as me. So
yeah.
Both you and I, if we were to just magically teleport our points into the US system, wouldn't even qualify.
Yeah.
For a seat. Like, and that's where it gets rough, because you're the easiest and most elegant solution is to just turn around and be like, cool, you earn points. Your points, you earn your what is it? The region you earn the most points in is your region, not the games you play. But then if you play a big event somewhere, it blows you out and puts you in the region, then you don't qualify for Chios. So it's one of those hard, like, column A, column B things. And I think that's just gonna take some teething problems with PB. Again, end of the day, even though they've been around for 5 years, they're still a small company. And so they still need to learn these issues. And end of the day is, it cost me, except for the flights, what was it? €50 for the, probably cost me close to 100 of drinking, but for the, somebody made all the beer go away on the island.
Bullshit, to be honest. They should have had more beer.
They should have had more beer.
They didn't know that they're putting that beer around 4 alcoholics.
Yeah, they invited 2 colonials and the Poms. Like, what do they expect?
Yeah.
But no, it's just one of those things where I think we just need to, over the coming years, for it to develop on that. And as you said before, I want Chios. I don't know if I want it to get bigger. I don't think my brain could handle meeting any more people as what would be the word, as intensely as you do at Chios, because, like, you go from I don't know who the fuck you are,
sucking
and then
about
an hour later,
photo.
it's literally an hour later. You're talking to someone about the game you both play, and you're acting like best mates, because the fact is you both have such similar experiences playing the game. There is a non-forced shared interest.
Like, I love Emmanuel, and I'm so glad that him and I got to spend like 40 minutes in a van together, chatting about the game, chatting about so much stuff, getting to know each other before even we got to the beach. So good.
So yeah, the Sunday, it's like, okay, we'll do Chios for me, I guess. What we'll talk about is So
I guess we'll finally get over to there.
let's get over there. Yeah. So, any specific questions you had for me about Chios, or just how it was, or where were we
It
going
says here, how was Chios? How well did you do? Shit like that.
with? All right. Chios. So Chios, the island itself was phenomenal. That tour they did was sick. It was just cool to get out and see the island.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you remember anything about
and
Mestic?
yeah. I remember that it's in like a bunch of beauty products, and everyone there's a bloody multi-bazillionaire or some shit.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And people hate it.
And the alcohol which goes with it is gross.
So bad.
Which is weird. Which is weird coming from me because I'll drink anything just short of jet fuel. But yeah, no. But no, it's the island was amazing. The weather was perfect. Like I could not, except for that bit of wind, which was just because we were playing the game. Like the weather was amazing. The island was amazing. It's absolutely stunning. The food was fucking phenomenal. Drown me in cheese and fucking meat, and I'll.
Man, they have so much cheese.
Nice.
And we saw what, one goat? Like that goat's putting in a lot of work.
Reese, we sat down day one, and Reese was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have some of this cheese. It's really good." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's cheese. Cheese is great. Like you can't have like good cheese, right? Because all cheese is good." And I tried it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want more." And he's like, "No, you don't get more. There was only 4 pieces for 4 people." I was like, "Fuck."
You gotta pull the Carl where he's like building a little bread empire at the back end of the table.
Oh no, I know. I think I sat next to Carl for nearly every meal almost. I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 we didn't. We just happened to naturally sit next to each other, and it would be like bread coming along, and I'd be reaching up the table, be like, "Carl, are you fed? I need more bread." There you go, buddy.
I thought he was on a pure protein diet because he's trying to get like jacked or some shit.
But except for Carl's exuberant, we do need to get him a Competent Conquest hat, which is also a bread basket. But no, yeah, Chios, the island itself was amazing. The PB stuff I met along the way are all fucking gems. Absolutely adored Stamo. He was just a fucking legend.
He did so much work, and like everything flowed like pretty smoothly because of Stamos. Like,
it was super smooth. It was like the only issue the entire time was Peace's army, and that had nothing to do with anyone. And then PB still sorted that out. Like, it was fantastic.
That was such a
Yanni was great. I hadn't had the pleasure of meeting Yanni, and he was phenomenal. It was great. Stavros, everyone was good. Leo, fucking pleasure to meet him in person. He was phenomenal. I wish he just wasn't unwell. That would have been even better because when he was actually fed and happy, he was amazing. But poor dude was suffering the rest of the time.
Wait,
and then gallstones the entire time. That's why he was very chilled out, very quiet and stuff during the day a lot of the time, except for the round tables. And then after dinner, when he could finally eat something, he was like way better, way more chatty. It was really good. Poor dude,
Okay.
It was in.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he was in a bit of pain in the event. And then we get to the real sick lads, which is just all the players. I flew in from England early day 0, so Sunday. Got in early in the morning. It was the UK rep Brendan, his +1 Kieran, and then the fun, lovable Steve. We're all shoved in the car. None of us had any idea who anyone was because even though Steve came last year, the UK and AU had different reps this year. So we're all just awkwardly sitting in the car, and then it's like, "So, what army did you bring? Who the fuck are you?" And then from there, we got to the little place we were staying. We really all wanted to eat because the UK boys and I had different flights over, but we'd been sitting in Athens airport for about 6 hours because it was an overnight flight. So we were all starving and tired and hungry. We rock up to the hotel, whatever it is, the little villa thingy, and ask if there's anywhere we can go get like some water and some food and stuff. She comes back and hands us all a beer. So that was how our Chios started. 9 o'clock in the morning, day 0, beer, and just went from there. Yeah, Stamos then showed us a large fucking fridge full of beer, and we're like, all right.
I'll admit something to you. I went down to the beach my first day there. They were like, "Oh yeah, there's the cooler," and I went in and like filled my pockets full of beer and Sprite and brought it back to my room, and I had like beer and Sprite in my fridge.
Oh no! Well, because Greek time is a magical, mythical thing, which is real. We got there at 9. We asked if there'd be anything we could do for food. We got told we'd have to wait for lunch. we got told that lunch would start being made at 1, which translated to you get lunch about 3:34.
Oh god.
It's 9 in the morning. We're all starving. So we went with the classic solution of anyone save a cookie from the airplane to share, and then a beer. So we sat there for the first 6-7 hours, just chilling and chatting on the beach, which is great. And I got to know Steve really well, and then the rest of the Yankee Doodles rocked up. And yeah, that's where I met Carl, Peter, Brian, and everyone. We all went to lunch, and then you rocked up a bit later that day. But I was blown away by the Yanks. They were actually genuinely all a lot cooler than I expected. And they're a lot of fun.
I just find it so funny. It's like I got a comment one time on one of my videos where it's like, you seem so angry in your video, but when I met you in person, you're so nice, and I'm like, thank you. Just like,
oh yeah.
Like, a lot of the guys are like actually super nice. Like everyone was super nice there.
As I said, I had no idea what to expect. Literally zero, because I've been on the internet long enough to know that fucking Discord's a lie for how people talk. But yeah, Carl was an absolute lad. We hit it off brilliantly. Brian was fucking a legend. Love Brian. He and I ended up talking about card games, just random shit most of the time, or just talking piss. And I have a bunch of photos of him eating food and just reacting as if he's ascending to heaven, which is funny. Oh, it's some good
this
ones.
man's soul is leaving his body.
I literally have photos like that, yeah.
Oh my god.
Kyle was amazing. Kyle ended up being my round 1 at Chios, which was cool. And I think there's only 2 or 3 people who were really chill round 1, really, really calm and like steady heads in that. And I know Kyle was a bit stressed because it was round 1, but he did phenomenally. We had a great game, and yeah, he was just an absolute legend the entire time. His partner was lovely as well. Like that was the other one. Everyone's +1s were just fucking great. It was just a good time for everyone there. It was great. Boy Steve was amazing. Smart ass the entire time, which I loved. And I wasn't expecting. He was great. Peter, the absolute angel, missed out on that tour, which was heartbreaking. But he was phenomenal.
He needed an army.
He needed an army, yeah, and he got it done. So I was well happy jumping online to bat in his court, tell people to stuff their heads up their asses.
That was so funny. Just like people are like, how can you do? Okay, you know what? I have a controversial question for you. What did you think of the? This is gonna fucking piss some people off, but you know, it's like
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
What are they going to do? Fly to the other side of the world and tell me off? I don't care.
And they're going to fight you, and you can pull out your twin snakes and be like, "Wah!" and you like whip them out and bite them, and then throw a handful of spiders at them as they run away.
What's that controversial take?
Okay, what did you think of the people commenting about Chios and everything about it? Let's say positively and negatively for people who are like,
positive.
Online.
So positively, when people were like, those armies look great, that's really cool, I hope you guys have fun, they're fantastic, go them, fuck yeah, support your country's rep. You're like, this man, woman, child, player, whatever the hell they are.
Don't say the children, because Steve might have PTSD.
Okay, well, he's going to lose the next... So. Yeah, I know, I heard about that. Next year's rep or whatever, right, for the US? The
child.
But, the child, not Steve. Come on, Steve. Pick up your game, bro. Love you. It was... it's end of the day, this person's done the best in your region. There's no real way to game the system. So, you know, support them. You know, it might be a game and not like some international sport, but like seeing all the positive stuff for it was great. So that was, yeah, you know, give back these people. And then the absolute... I can swear on this podcast, can't I? Yeah, the absolute dumb fucks.
Can. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the absolute dumb fucks who decide that in their better time they want to turn around and rag on somebody who's going through, as a wargamer, equivalent of the most traumatic experience in relation to war games you can have, your army not being there. Yeah, I jumped online straight away. I was the one who started ripping chunks into the general Discord and explaining that people were fucking idiots. You know, maybe show some support and solidarity rather than being an absolute twat and be like, whoa, why is the army grey? Rather than being like, oh, something must have happened at the World Championship. Yeah. And yeah, anyone saying anything negative about Chios can, go shove their head up someone else's ass. It's the fact is, you didn't get there. Don't be salty about it. be happy and celebrate the people who managed to get there. Yeah, it's pretty much where I stand. And yeah, I'll stand in my court and yell at people till the end of the day comes home. Old man yells at cloud, pretty much.
You'll fuck them with your spiders?
No, I will cuck my spiders and my spiders will fuck them. Just ask Peter.
Oh my god. Oh no, I agree with you. Like it was so wild and insane just like watching some of that stuff, like, or being told about it, and I like pop in and it's just like this massive thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I just love the fact that one person said something like, "Oh, people are saying negative things." Like there was members of my community who didn't have any context, and they saw the photos of the grey armies. Like that's the first thing they see. It's like the shock value reaction where they're like, "Oh, why is there grey armies?" And then I proceeded to be like, "Why did his army go missing? Equivalent or not turn up or whatever?" And they're like, "Oh." I'm like, "Do you feel like an idiot?" They're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Do you have anything to say?" They're like, "Can you please tell the nice man I'm sorry?" I'm like, "That's no problem." Because that's what it was. It was like, and it's understandable that you fire off your first reaction, but take a second to think. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. It's also really funny when people are like, they get told, "Hey, this is what happened." They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then there's some people who are just like, "Well, I'm not going to apologize." It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, like
you're being
being a prick. Exactly. It's
No, it's just wild. Like that one was wild. Or like painted. It's not painted my level quality. It's like you're not even fucking at Chios. Like you mean nothing. That was another one that was wild.
This is the wild thing, which I really think people need to click and understand and do this. Yes, everyone going to Chios is an ambassador for the hobby from your region, for the game from your region. However, much like when you go to a tournament or even a casual play day thing, you're going to have players who have very limited skills and experience painting and top-end Golden Demon, Mass, Silver Skull winners, right? And that's the thing. You've got everyone between then. So you're going to have people who rock up to Chios who don't have the best paint army in the world, but they have an army they painted. End of the day, it doesn't matter how they do it. And then you're going to have combination art pieces like Camille's, which are put together by his club, or my army, who was painted by one of my mates, because that's what he wanted to do to help me for Chios. Because I turned around and was like, I need to get games in. And he turned around and he said, because I stripped my army and I was going to repaint it myself. And he turned around and goes, "Hey, let me paint the army. What do you want to do with it?" And I was like, "That's amazing, thank you." Like, it's not really a one man gets to Chios by themselves. Emmanuel, you mentioned, his community came together, give him enough events. The Polish players, they work together and play and test and do stuff. Camille's army was playing together.
Camille had like even 50 games with that army going into Chios.
He had 50 games of it, but also he had 3 or 4 people who helped him paint the army. Like, you like the World Championships is encapsulating the world and showing off what the hobby is from the top to the bottom. The only aside to that is that it happens to be under the mantle of the best player in your region for that year, or the highest achieving player, or whatever, and that's you're going to a hobby thing. It's a fucking game. Pull your head out of your ass and enjoy, celebrate other people's victories, right?
Like it's so funny because there's also like no money in this at all.
Yeah, I had so many people be like, "Oh, what do you get if you win?" I'm like, I get sent to a Greek island for 4 days to chill out on.
Yeah, I get bragging rights if I win Chios or whatever. Oh, I get to pick a mini that comes out. That'll be cool. Like that's such a like if you really think about it, there are people who play actual sports or other stuff who make like millions of dollars, and if they wanted the mini, they could probably just get it designed by somebody and spend like a couple $1,000s getting it designed and like made for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, we don't get that. Instead, it's like you gotta do well for the entire season, do consistently well. And then you have to go to Chios, and then you have to win Chios, where there's a lot of other people who have done well or consistently well, as like a minimum. So you either
go play into some of the best go play into the best players of the world, or some of the best players in the world, and beat them all, and then after beating,
then you get to make a giant quaddle.
Yeah, exactly. Go jump through these hoops to get there, and that's it. But I think that's fantastic because I think nobody would have been chilled out on the day if they'd turn around and said there's 20 grand on the line.
Oh my god, if there's like 20 grand on the line, I'm like
I don't know if I would
stressing.
Exactly. Like as I said to you, the list I ran, my lovely spider list. I was joking after round 1 that it was my. I built it to go on beer time. I had the lowest card count. I had 9 cards. I would rock up to every table with a beer in one hand and a bottle of water in the other. I'd drink the water while I was going through my 9 cards and playing out those things. Then when my opponent, like my round one against Kyle, was on 17 cards or some bullshit by the end of one of the turns, I was like, I'm going to sit here and drink this beer and have a good time. You sit there and feel flustered and figure out what you're doing, mate. I'm going to, like, it's just one of those things. Like, I was chill the entire event. I was having a good time. I literally did not stress about it at all. Round 4, going into Kyle, right? Whoever wins that game, podiums out of the two of us. But
yeah.
The other thing is, I didn't care if I went 2-2 or if I went 3-1. I was having a good time. I got to play Carl. I've never got to play Carl before. The two of us were fanging after each other for a game all weekend. So I was just stoked to play with him. That was it. That was my victory of getting to play with people I don't get to play with because they live the other side of the fucking world.
I played everyone who I played there was a new opponent. Huckleberry and I have known each other for quite a while and hung out and everything and had dinners, but we have never played at a tournament or anything. So it was great playing him like round 4. But also like playing Brandon, playing Arcadius, playing Camille. Like these are all new people who all like the only time I'll probably ever see them again is at Chios to play them again.
Yeah. I felt very privileged to get my teeth
crushed.
I wouldn't say my teeth got pushed in. I wouldn't say crushed, but to get a game in, because there was actually a really good game with Mateus and then of course with Carl. Like we had a really tight. Carl and I were having a really tight game, and then it just stopped being really tight. It was just like, oh, that's how it goes. But then into Mateus as well, it was just a bit of a resource allocation problem on the game table. But it was a privilege and a pleasure to play both of them because they're both such good players. And it was a really cool moment for me playing them because I got to turn around and be like, I didn't feel like it was a stretch to, have put a better game on against them and that sort of thing. So, I can, see myself making the run again. And I became a better player for playing both of them because it let me kind of understand where I am in the world. And yeah, it was just like, it was awesome. Playing Peter was just that was so much fun. The wind picked up at one point, and while we're standing there talking, his Crimson Tower made a 24-inch charge because the wind just picked them up and pushed them directly in line with one of my units across the table.
What the fuck?
No touching. The wind just picked up the banner in the unit and they just slid across the table cleanly into one of my units as we're just like, pardon? So then we had to pick up the board and rearrange where the models that had been, but yeah, so there was just some weird shit happen.
I would have been like, I declare charge. I mean,
yeah. Is that a move charge? What are the benefits I get? No.
Yeah. Leo, well, he got this, so he's like, God damn it, Leo.
Mother Nature says, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like, as you can see on page 384 of the rulebook, this rulebook is right too big.
No,
nature moves him and he's your in.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, it was, yeah. As I said, again, Chios was fantastic. I ended up getting 6th, which I was absolutely stoked with, the highest of the 2-2s, and I had predicted myself going 14th, so 6th is a bit better, because I guessed I wouldn't be the worst player there, but I also had no idea about the other 15 absolute champions who were there playing, so yeah, it was one of those things. I was stoked.
No, I think you did really well, man. Like, all the things you heard, your list. We should probably talk about your list in your games for people.
We should, rather than going over it loosely.
Yeah, okay, let's get into it. Because I'm gonna be honest, I saw your list and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So
yeah, so
do you have it open? Because I have it open.
I've got it memorized.
Okay, let's hear it.
I had to think. So yeah, so my list was called Not Here to Fuck Spiders. It was Euroni, because I'm a degenerate, but I've been playing them since they released. Like, I got them the day they released and ran them the event that weekend. So I love the faction, so I was going to run them. So my list is 2 Jurugamo Mahotsus, 1 Oyoban with the Trial, which was Tenacious 2 at the time on it, a brick of 4 Kami and a Kappa, 2 MSUs of Oni, an MSU of Tengu Bushi, and an MSU of Tengu Ayakashi, and then the big boy himself, the Dai Yokai.
Now, is this the flashy sword guy or the guy who collects all the...
That is the flashy sword guy.
Okay, because I know that... Yeah,
that is the trash choice. You're trying to meme. Don't bring this. But, I don't necessarily listen. And yeah, I decided to bring 3 monsters. And my list's so compact because I think I had to travel the furthest.
Because what, you went to Australia, to UK, back down, agree? Yeah, that probably sounds like the furthest.
Yeah, so I did. So I flew over. So I went Australia, Japan, UK, Greece, Austria, Japan, home.
What the fuck?
over a month. So I had to carry the army with me. If you do get sponsorships from an A case, they did a fantastic job. I managed to fit the army in one of them. The Daiokai is magnetized, and the spiders were just pinned, so I was able to wrap them in little blankets, take them across.
Okay, I have a question for you about the case. Would you go with the toolbox, or would you still use the case you used?
I'd use the case because it's what because everything's magnetized. It's soft skin, which means it's a lot easier to fit places. When I was in Japan, I just chucked it into a suitcase and wrapped it up, and it fit in the suitcase without an issue. Yeah, because that's it. After Chios, I had 3 weeks of travel still with a fucking army case.
Why did you not mail it back to yourself, or were you like, I'm never gonna see this for like 6 months?
Yeah, it was one of those things. The A case itself wasn't mine, so I didn't give a shit about the miniatures, but the actual container, I was like, no, I need to make sure this doesn't break. But yeah, no. So back to my list. Yes, that was my list. It was only 9 cards. There was concessions made for traveling with the army, and I didn't get as many games in with that list as I would have liked. But there was a couple of options which were taken as meta picks. The Daiokai was taken as a meta pick because on the math, it's one of the only things which can snipe out a Uroni character in a brick in a duel. And the disbenefits of the free duel. Dropping lowest resolve, rerolling ones, no inspire means that in I guess like other game terms, it has an innate -1 to hit when it's in melee if you decline the duel. Because if you take the duel, that's 12 clash 4 attacks coming through, which will probably kill you. So it was there. It also is just a really cool model. And I have a giant samurai, so come on, man, it's kind of sick. But the rest of my list is pretty straightforward. There's a fat brick of Kami with the Oyaban, which whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of the Oyaban. I actually really dislike him. I just don't like the daimyo is so much cooler. Again, samurai.
Isn't the daimyo the guy with he's smoking the pipe and he looks like a samurai?
The Oyaban's one smoking the pipe with a big stick, but the which was the only part of my the only miniature which broke by the time I got to Chios was my Oyaban. He hasn't broken the 6 months I've had him, and his staff broke as I flew out of Australia. Like, broke at the airport. I was so mad. Yeah, I was like, motherfucker. Yeah, so I took that list. Lowest card count in Chios with only 9. Rather than trying to go over everyone else with an activation, which I might do at home, I tried to go under them all. And yeah, double spider is degenerate and cool. I was trying to force 4 spiders before, but it wasn't a real list for Chios. And then they got nerfed.
Joke's on you. Nerfed.
Joke's on you. Yeah, and so I could run them after. But yeah, so that was my list I took. I played Kyle into his Sorcerer Kings game 1. We played, I want to say, Decline Flank. So I decided to play Decline Flank as my strategy against him. And my list is really good because it has better force concentration than anyone else at the event. I can fit 1,500 points in about 12 inches of the table.
That's what she said.
Because of all the monster bases. And yeah, it's just really hard to deal with, and I was able to play a really good game with him. We did go to time on 2 hours 15. But the game ended and I still had both spiders up and the brick on turn 6, and he was short several Flamecaster stands. His Raj was dead, all his wizards were dead, so it would have been a really weird grindy game afterwards. I don't know who would have won it, who wouldn't have, because Decline Flank, it gets a bit weird with scoring when you don't have enough units. But so that was a really good game. It was super solid. There was a back-breaking moment for him where he shot like the full powered up volley of 3 Flamecasters.
Did he show you that his Death Star was fully operational?
He did. But I retaliated by showing him that Defense 4 is an experience. And proceeded to take like 3 wounds out of 20-something hits on one unit.
What the
And he
fuck?
looked at me and I looked at he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, you rolled some really good dice there. And he just looked at me, he's like, I hate you. I'm like, fair enough, have a good day.
I'm not gonna lie, I've played so many like Household Knights into like Marksman clones to the point where it's like D4 means nothing. I'm gonna die.
Or it means everything. So at home we call it the D4 experience, where either you pass every single save or you fail every single save. Nothing else to do it. It's just Defense 4.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. So we played a really good game. And I think I was very lucky to have him as my first round opponent because we both approached it really chilled out and we were there for a good time. And it meant that after that game 1, it really settled because everyone had a lot of nerves round 1. I think At least how the other players seemed to be. As I said, I was nice and chill. I had beer and I had breakfast and I was there to just play. And it was so it was one of those things where I think it settled him really well, and I had a good time, and it meant that going into round 2 after lunch there was super solid. I got to play into round 2 was the beautiful and amazing Peter, fighting me with his grey horde due to the
his
way the
gorgeous
universe
horde,
has.
addressed it by its proper title.
Oh yeah, grey gorgeous. And we had I play Urani, so to match the stereotype, I'm a bit of a weeb. And Peter's army name was a reference to a certain anime that I love. So we nerded out for about 15 minutes while we were setting up and playing and stuff like that. And I think that just really set the tone for the game. If my original faction, if my original faction wasn't 100k, I don't think I would have been able to get the game as well as I did against Peter. Just knowing how the horse list operates properly, I was able to pin his sealed temple behind a brick of household knights, and then do the world's slowest killing of them with no inspire, with just some clash passes. With one of my bricks while I scored out in head to head. He wasn't able to. Anytime he went to threaten me with one of his cavalry units, I had Oni or Tengu there to retaliate quickly. And those spiders are really hard to one tap. So even when they take like Crimson Tower charge to the face, they just kind of shrug and continue of life. And so I was able to grind him down until when he finally broke through the Oyabun brick and got onto the main objective, he had a Dire Yokai aimed at his flank and a spider aimed at his front, so I one-turned the Sealed Temple brick. And he just wasn't able to really do anything after that.
Damn.
But the game was phenomenal. And he's an absolute pleasure to play. And we've been chatting here and there about different 100k lists and different things, which is good. And I made sure whenever I saw a weeb statue I thought he'd like while I was overseas, to just send him a picture.
Oh my god.
It's just a great guy. It was just fun. And then we had dinner. It was pretty cool. Day one. I can't remember the exact ordering of the dinners. They were all good. They were all fantastic. Food was great. There was no misses. There's no misses on Chios.
Tour day was the mountain. Day 1 was that place in town by the big ass tree, by all the cats.
Oh yeah, in town. That was cool.
2 was by the
finals
docks.
dinner by the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Day 2 dinner was really good. Got to hang out with who we have a table had. Yeah, the Poms, Brian, Peter. No, Peter didn't have Steve, but it was didn't Carl out behind us. But yeah, and you actually as well.
Yeah, it was down at the end.
And your partner and stuff. Yeah,
because we went for a walk after.
Yeah, and we went for the walk, and I got really mad about housing prices in everywhere that is in Australia. But I'm not getting on that train. But yeah, that was phenomenal. Yanni was great fun, and Yanni, of course, Yanni was at our table. Yanni was great fun to chat and hang out with. Just talked a bunch of piss, and that was good. And then we went into day 2, which was round 1 for me. I finished day 1 as one of the 3 2-0s. And then day 2, I had my pick of I either get Carl or Mateus, or I get paired down. And Lady Luck,
Camille or me.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of. Yeah, it was be one of you two. So Lady Luck smiled on me in one aspect and laughed at me in another. And I got Mateus. And it was a really, really good game. And I'm not someone who generally likes talking about whether variance pops up, because it's all swings and roundabouts of dice. Your dice will always be average throughout the entire game. There'll just be moments where it spikes and moments where it doesn't. The moment where mine decided to not spike was a clean charge clash into some flamecasters of a spider, and I did 1 wound.
Ooh.
And I kind of just stared into. Now, as I said, swings and roundabouts. A wounded Kami leader and a Oyabun killed almost an entire 5-man of flamecasters on the charge clash. So it was like, as I said, swings and roundabouts. But yeah, not picking up a single stand of the flamecasters meant that he declined scoring on the point there for 1 turn, which would have really decided it. And then she proceeded to fail all saves, and the game was just done from there. But it was a fantastic game anyway, and it was just like absolutely loved it. And it was good to see where the top level is and what you have to do to achieve to get there and stuff. And so I was really pumped after that game. And Mateus is a funny motherfucker. He doesn't say a lot, but when he says it, it's very poignant and very, very funny. And then I got the lovely car last round, which was awesome because we really wanted to get a game in. We'd hit it off crazy, and then I got abducted into your boys' competent conquest. I was literally just like, oh, those jerseys are cool. You should give me one. And then I get like sent this is how you get the jersey. Here's an invite to the Discord. It's day one. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm here now.
Fill out this form and then give us your blood.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, signed away my life. But yeah, so I got to play Carl, which was just absolutely phenomenal. And we played a really good game. Grind them down. We paired off. I won one flank, and then we were fighting over the other while we were grinding against each other gently and lovingly in the middle.
So nothing was dying in the middle. That's what I'm hearing.
It was the two bricks with a spider behind each.
Yeah,
like,
so nothing was. It's like, oh, I'm D4. Yeah. Oh, I'm D4. Oh, I heal 4 wounds. I heal 4 wounds.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, slap. It's like, god damn it.
Yeah, the equation though is by the math, the spider should get off every cast on 2s. Like, just needs to get 2. But that's not how dice work. So there was definitely times when it was like, I'm not D4. Oh, I'm not healing. And just Carl slowly ground away with me there. The origami definitely did some stuff there. I did a dumb charge and kind of threw away a Oni MSU at one point by accident, which wasn't necessarily a misplay. It was just I did not use this resource efficiently. And then but on the other flank, I got this really cool position in Grind Them Down where I had the Dai Yokai in his Oyabun brick, and his Oyabun brick wasn't touching either objective and wouldn't be able to. And if I'd gotten the initiative, I was going to teleport through him to stand on his objective and pin him.
Oh no.
But he won the initiative and killed the Dai Yokai, and I was like, no, my entire plan. But that just led to the other flank collapsed, and with that flank collapsing, he was able to reallocate to the middle. And I think it was like 32-25 or something. It was a pretty close game. But it just ended up going that way, and it was like, yeah. But it was a great game. Otherwise, I absolutely killed Carl at one point because I unironically turned around and just went, I'm going with my spider. Because I was chatting the resource in there, and Carl, who went from this very, very straight-faced, serious, locked in, got to do well, just proceeded to piss his pants laughing, out of nowhere, which we weren't expecting. But no, it was really good games. And yeah, all my opponents were absolutely lovely, and I'd play any of them in a heartbeat again. And I know that the Americans, who apparently I went through half the Americans for my games.
You're right. You played 3 Americans and a Polish guy.
Yeah, exactly. They invited me over to Adepticon to come play, and yeah, I'm taking them up on that invite. As long as their country doesn't burn down before I get there. So
what are you talking about? The dollar might be better.
Theirs or mine? Because I hope mine is better than theirs. Because
is your what is it? Hold on, let me get.
My dollar's shit. The Aussie dollar is real bad. So yeah.
Let's put in the converter. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, my dollar sucks. But yeah, so
that's Cambodian. I'm checking the Canadian dollar because I'm curious. The Canadian dollar is better. Yay!
Yeah, than the Aussie dollar. Yeah, Aussie dollar's doing terrible. But no, so yeah, all my games were fantastic. All my opponents were amazing. Chios was just absolutely stunning. I had a mate yesterday be like, "Oh, why did you buy these new models, rah rah rah?" And I just sent him 5 pictures from Chios, and I was like, "That's why, bud. Suck a dick. I'm going back. You're not."
look at my spider.
Yeah, but no, and then yeah, so that was good. And then yeah, I got the weekend I got back from traveling, was straight into another event, and where I took 4 spiders like a degenerate to go and
yeah, and you
clean that up, which was happy. Yeah, 5-0'd, which was good. Yeah, the list is degenerate, it's clean, it's solid. And then I put it on the shelf and was like, I'm gonna go play something else then.
Sometimes you only got to bring out the power to win a thing, and then be like, all right, we're good.
Yeah, I don't I think the list is good. It's just got a lot of defensive buffs, which is hard for a lot of armies to answer.
Well, especially
however, I think
with the meta being volume over cleave, except Dweg now says go fuck yourself if you don't have cleave.
Which is if you're bringing cleave to deal with and that's the big issue with the spiders, right? If you say you bring something, say bring 12 attacks to deal with Dweg, right? 12 high cleave attacks. The spiders, I save it on 3s all the time. I don't care. I have Tenacious.
So you need volume to deal with like the rest of the game, but you need cleave to deal with Dweg home. So you either plan for one faction or plan for the rest of the game, and you might get lucky and not meet up with Dweg home. And it's just like, oh, this is gonna get a little fucky wucky here in a moment.
Australia's got a really high density of Dweg players. So we probably
they're
have
climbing out of their holes finally. You're like, oh,
yeah,
arise, my Dweg home, arise.
But we actually had Dweg quite strong even when they were not updated. But you play in like the estimates for this event I went to Bungendore Bash was we had 18 players, 20 players, and I think we expected 5 Dweg players, 6 Dweg players, like, and that's the average. Like, it's normally a quarter of the field is Dweg. But then sometimes there's no Dweg. It's weird. So we were expecting that, and yeah, they rocked up. I played into them. They were not anywhere near as scary as I thought they were going to be for Dweg. But as I said, I had something degenerate on the field of 4 spiders.
Yeah. Well, also another thing about Dweg is like it's still kind of doing what it was doing before. Like its whole playstyle and everything has not changed. Like
yeah, it just got more rules.
Yeah, like you're playing healing Dweg, shooty Dweg, goons Dweg. Yeah, that's about and goons Dweg. Like that's kind of what you're playing, and then I do agree. Like it got more rules. What it did needed to kind of stay up to date with the rest of the game, but weirdly enough, I don't know. Like I hope this update does well. Like I did that episode with Brian about the Dweg update, and he's not happy with it. I'm kind of just like, there's a lot of my big takeaway from Dweg home is there's a lot of busy work to just do the thing that you're gonna do anyway. Like you're gonna do this thing. There's nothing stopping you. This is just like extra bookkeeping. And like, is extra bookkeeping fun? That's the question.
I think the answer is yes, because so the way I look at it with Dweg is that Dweg you're only definitely stepped up into that aspect of the stats faction which Dweg was previously filling, right? Because as Brian likes to say, their superpower is defense 3, resolve 4, or whatever, or defense 4, resolve 3, whatever it is in regards to Dweg's superpower, and you're only stepped up into that position better. It's an easier, simpler, more straightforward stats faction, and I'm actually really, I would, if we look at it in a positive light, really happy with the Dweg update because they're exploring new space, which is what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want your factions to have a different feel to them. And Dweg still do the same superpower. It just happens to be that there can be some factions who do the same superpower a bit better, where they're like 7 wounds, defense 3, resolve 3. And once I saw Dweg on the table and actually got to play against the new Dweg, there is a lot of cool things. And I've noticed those same players who played that event, the difference between game 1 and game 5 for the experience with Dweg of both their opponents and them playing it was great. It's good.
But I've just sent you a list in Dweg home for Dweg home.
So that's what we like to call in the business a SKU list of D4 bullshit.
So for the listener, we're gonna find out because I'm taking this to an event this weekend, and it mostly came up with I'm bored and lazy. What a lot of people know is kind of a lot of things of like why I do stuff, but for the I guess the listener, it is Dweg home, Tempered Creed, Warlord Steel Shaper, Fireforge, Lost Ancestor was Steel School with I think Bloody Minus Focus is always die fighting. Double Fireforge, double Steel Forge. Duplicate that. Champion's Horns for +1 attack steals and Steel School. So you have 12, and the list is called Dozen Eggs, Please. Because you got 12 eggs. And then you also got 5 Fireforge, and that's it.
You also got 3 instances of Tenacious and Dominable because you're a degenerate.
Yeah.
On D4, hard one.
Why would it
have a great time.
So the only...
Eat your heart out, 100K.
Yeah, the only thing I'm like, I guess, worried about in the list is simply, it's all medium, but how will that reinforcement curve in? I know everything's going to be for sure coming in on 4. Will the dice smile upon me is the question on the reinforcement curve, because it has no flank. And that's one of the things, like, I
think you're fine. You're throwing 8 reinforcement dice?
Yeah.
Well, both Fireforge and Steelforge love coming from the flank if they get the chance.
I know. So that's the thing. Like, we can talk about this list a little bit, but it's very much you want a Fireforge unit, like an MSU, to be your final thing coming on turn 4, just to like pop up and pop a cap in somebody as a reserve, because like you're probably playing at the back end of your table until you establish and then push forward. And if someone gets greedy and comes into you, you can just pop them out of the side and just get side shots and riff through them, kind of thing.
Anyway. It's a solid list. Yeah, that's all there. It quite literally solid. There's like, there's not much else you can say about it. Fireforged are great, Steelforged are great, Lost Ancestor is great. I think the stuff I've been having fun with, I don't like Dweg at all. I actually just, it's the only faction I have no interest in playing, but my best mate plays a lot of Dweg. It's his only faction. So I help him with lists a lot. And yeah, this is bleh. That list, yeah, makes me feel things. Mainly Revulsion. But yeah, I would love to see that with a bit more tinkered for a Tempered Sorcerer. Just so that you can make your Steelforge puke on people with fireballs.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, oh yeah, that's right, because if you take him a Warlord, you can use him as the Arc Node.
Yeah, Arc Node it, yeah.
Yeah, so this list falls under, I'm using Robert's naming construction for Dwight Home. This is a metal industry list, while a Tempered Sorcerer would be a power plant list.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I'm playing metal industry.
I get to learn all his names because I talk to Robert every day almost about Conquest. I
hope so.
I get to have my brain expanded. I'm very very spoiled by that. I get to deal with the two smartest gentlemen.
I want to talk to him more.
Yeah, he's fantastic and he's very hilariously offhand sometimes. It's the Aussie community are a bunch of smart motherfuckers. And I just get to sit here and be like, okay, I'm part of this. I get it. But there's innovation down here. Which there's certain things we do, and then we see a couple of months later them popping up in other communities, and we're like, huh, took them long enough.
So, yeah, no, is it a couple guys pushing the meta? Is it usually because it tends to be the top players who push the meta?
So Australia does this really funny thing where I'll say the top 3 players. The top 3 players not necessarily compete among themselves at all, something like that. But because Australia, we have an event coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Myself, Rob, you, and we're all going to be there, which is pretty loaded event, top end wise, for some silly lists. When it comes to list considerations, all of us consider each other, and then we consider the other top players and runners and that sort of thing. However, I have no idea if the other runners consider us at all, or if they just kind of go, sweet, we're just going to have to win this on skill, we'll play the faction we're playing anyway. Because we have some very diehard players who only played CS, have only played Dweg, and have done that for years. So it's not dominated by us at all. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, those guys are going to bring bullshit. We're just going to ignore them, and then we'll deal with their bullshit when it gets to the table, which works a lot of the time for them, for that, because there's a little arms race between the top players themselves, not to the exclusion of others, but it's just like we're teching for each other, and then we get to the table and we're playing against one of the other players who might not be the top dog, and they're just like, oh, I brought this thing, and you just kind of sit there and you go, what the fuck is that? Oh god, how do I deal with that? Because you've gone too much into the arms race on the other side of the field with the other people. Yeah, it's very funny. Because much like Aussies in general, we don't give a shit. So when half the meta just turns around, it's like, yeah, we don't care what you guys are doing. Go jerk off in the corner. Have fun with your little arms race. We're gonna just play the game, and then so it's
then you get fucked over by not building a decent list.
or you've built a decent list, which is really good matchups into what the other top 2 or 3 players are doing. Yeah. But then you're ignoring player 5 through 10 sort of thing. And
then you get player 5 through 10 and you drop down. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, ah, damn it. So
I agree. It's like a lot of the time it's really just like, what are you playing? What are your opponents playing? What does the table look like? What's the scenario you're playing? That's what you're playing with. That's what you're dealing with. Like you can't.
Yeah, one good thing I find in Australia is a lot of time is no list really blows anyone out. There was a time after Urani dropped when both myself and Reese were kind of pioneering the faction. a bunch and playing the shit out of it. And there was concessions made in certain lists, like Rob's 100k list brought in double Fire Wizard because it just fucks your Oni hard. And those sort of things where like you would see people adding tools to their list to deal with it because they knew we'd be in the top sort of half of the pack. And it was something to consider. And yeah, it's those sort of things more than anything, rather than like full lists redo and that sort of stuff.
Well,
you're not adjusting a list for that, but you're tweaking for the meta of.
Yeah, you're grabbing a tool. You're not like building a silver bullet. And
Exactly.
I tell a lot of players, especially like newer players, where they're like, I'm having trouble into this. It's like, okay, you can build. It's like I built this. I'm like, okay, this is a complete counter into that thing, but you have just left yourself wide open to the rest of like the game and everything else. Like you can't do that. Here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where it breaks down. I think for that portion of the Aussie meta for your question, there is just it's a lot of there's tech pieces in lists for certain matchups, but it's such a wild west here so often that it's a bit weird because I know, as I said, a couple of us players we talk about what we're playing and what lists are because at the end of the days we'd rather test into good opponents and get practice into like people of similar skill than we would necessarily trying to keep it a secret and not be able to test it properly.
Yeah, and that's like the thing. Like you've like a lot. I find like a lot of the higher end players talk to each other about lists and give each other feedback and advice, and then play games into it to get that knowledge and experience.
Well, and that's it. We all want to improve, and the best way to improve is by playing comparative skill.
No, yeah, I agree. Okay, that's a silence. To be honest, we've covered all of Chios and you, the great Saxon, who has beaten the allegations. He no longer fucks spiders.
We'll see. I've got an event in a couple of weeks. I might put 4 back on the table.
Oh, okay, then he will for sure fucks the spiders. If you play Saxon in his army, please check the underside of the spider if he's drilled a hole in there the size of his dink. Be careful. It might be full of juices. Oh yeah, that line's staying in, so I hope everyone's excited.
It's a gem.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, is there? I think we're good, to be honest. Like we've chatted for quite a while. I've had an enjoyable time with you. Is there anything you want to promote? You want to promote to the people?
Yeah, sure. So I will do a quick run through of the Aussie 2-day events which are coming up over the season. Because we will have to schedule ahead. If there is any Aussies or Kiwis or Singaporeans or a Yank who wants to get on the airplane, anyone who wants to come to one of the events, we have we're booked out for the end of the year. Actually, I think all our events are sold out until the start of the year. So we've got CanCon in January. For those who want to come, I think we've still got about 10 to 15 tickets left. That'll be the biggest event in Australia for next year. Come along to that, and then we'll have in order from February through to June, we're going to have West Coast War, Clash of the Coast, BrizCon, Conquer Canberra, and I don't think I've forgotten any. Oh, there's one I've forgotten there. That's all right. But if you jump into the Australian Discord, which you can always poke Reese or ask any of the Aussies on the international Discord for an invite to, you'll be able to get details for that. We're a fantastic community. Don't be afraid to get involved if you're an Aussie sitting there not playing yet. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty rock and roll, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, get involved because we all like to have a chat and a yarn. So we're always down to play and test and do stuff.
Oh, I'm glad. What else here? Wrap it up. Thank you for listening to BonkTable or watching it. Check out more Battle Reports on the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Go check out the BonkTable Discord if you want to talk to us more directly. Look at Cassandra's Twitter and then her secret Twitter that you have to go find on yourself. And I hope everyone enjoyed themselves today. And thank you, Saxon, for coming on. Greatly appreciate it. You're a fantastic guest, a fantastic player, and hopefully in the future we can play again, maybe even at Adepticon.
Saying sweet nothings. Thanks for having me, and cheers for tugging my dick there at the end. Appreciate it, bud.
No problem. I'll nope, I'm not. I'm like, have self-control. Have self-control.
Beat the allegations, Mass. Beat the allegations.
God damn it, have self-control. All right, with that, everyone have a great day. Bye.
Uh,